Hey everyone, welcome to this summary of the latest Forza Horizon dev stream, and well, we have a lot to talk about today. Horizon 4 is coming close to end-of-life status, and Horizon 5 is ramping up for release with lots of new info and new footage shown today. But first, let's start with our Horizon 4 Series 38 playlist. For the overall rewards, you're going to be getting a backstage pass at 50% and the Chevy Camaro at 80%. Then jumping right into summer, 50% rewards gets you the Honda S800 and 80% the Ferrari 250 LM. In summer, you can also get the TVR Tuscan, the MC12 Corsa, and our one new car for the season, the Vool 055RR, which is a Mexican supercar, so very clearly on theme with Horizon 5. Alright, so let's jump into autumn here, where 50% gets you a backstage pass and 80% the McLaren Speedtail. And for the rest of the season, you'll be able to grab cars like the Lamborghini Miura, the Mercedes-Benz E63, the Lambo Veneno, and the Aventador as well. Now, winter is going to give us some seasonally appropriate vehicles with a Land Rover at 50% and a Jeep Gladiator at 80%. You can also grab cars like the Porsche 718 or Mercedes-Benz 300 SLR from winter. And then finally for spring, a backstage pass at 50% and the Ferrari 250 at 80%. You can also grab a couple of my favorites actually from the season events. You can get the Maserati Ghibli as well as the Mark III Supra. Alright, so only one new car coming to Horizon 4 for this season, and I think we can all understand that this is of course because development focus is shifting fully over to Horizon 5. Now, I'm sure the question many of you guys are asking is, what does this mean for the future of Horizon 4 updates? Well, starting next month, old Horizon 4 series playlists are going to be returning in a sort of greatest hits mixtape of sorts between Series 7 up to Series 32. So this does mean a lot of old rare cars coming back and some older events as well. This also means no more new cars or major features, with the exception of one new feature we'll talk about in a minute here. So that said, the devs were asked what Horizon 4 support is going to look like after the release of Horizon 5. And they gave a pretty vague answer, saying essentially that they want to make sure Horizon 4 remains a fun game to play. Now, if Horizon 5 wasn't releasing on Xbox One consoles, I would imagine Horizon 4 support would continue longer into FH5's life. However, since Horizon 5 is going to be playable on all the same consoles you can get Horizon 4 on, and Horizon 4 has already been out 3 years, I think personally that focus is going to shift heavily over to Horizon 5 on release, and Horizon 4 will settle into its end-of-life status for the next 2 or so years before it's inevitably removed from sale due to licenses running out. Now, on that somewhat sad note, let's pick things back up here with the release of what is likely our final new major feature for Horizon 4, Super 7 High Stakes. After a very long wait, it's finally here. Now, if you don't remember what this is, High Stakes is a special Super 7 challenge mode in which you are given only 3 lives to complete a given challenge. And for each challenge you do complete, you bank a reward, ranging from credits to clothes to cars. The rewards get better and better for each new challenge you complete, but here's the catch. If you lose all your lives in any given challenge, you lose every single reward you've banked for that session. So it's definitely an interesting way to gamble for rewards in Horizon 4, and I think it'll be a really fun way to jump back into Super 7. Alright guys, that is just about it for Horizon 4 news, but we are not even close to done yet. There is plenty to talk about in the world of Horizon 5. So first, there's been some confusion about performance on the various consoles, and although they tried to clear that up, they're still being a bit vague. It was said that the Series X and S will default to 30 FPS modes with the graphics turned all the way up, but will also both have 60 FPS performance modes. Xbox One consoles, though, are likely going to be all limited to 30 FPS, but that's not final. And PC specs, the ones you can see around on Steam especially, are just placeholder. Real PC requirements will be coming closer to launch. So that still seems to leave a few things in the dark. For one, we don't know if any of the Xbox One consoles are going to have a 60 FPS mode, And on top of that, we don't know what resolution or even what the games are really going to look like on performance mode on the new Series X and S. We will, I'm assuming, get some better answers on that closer to launch. So now let's go ahead and shift gears here and talk about the focus of their Horizon 5 stream, which was all about the sky, lighting, and weather system. So it started off pretty techy. They were discussing their camera rig for capturing skies that they've used ever since Horizon 3 and is, of course, newer and better and more modified for Horizon 5. Again, it was pretty tech talk stuff, but there were some cool kind of tidbits of info that came out of it. For example, for Horizon 5, they recorded about 400 hours of skies. And then essentially they narrow that down to the best, most beautiful days, and those are the ones that make it into the game. On top of that, that recording footage was about 75 terabytes of data, which is because they took a ridiculous number of 12K photos, doing time lapses every 30 seconds for that 400 hours. So they brought the camera rig onto the stream and showed it off and kind of showed off what the raw data that came out of it looked like, and then explained how that turns into an in-game skybox. Again, super cool, but pretty techy stuff. And from there, they went into a Q&A with chat, which is where we got some nice juicy bits of info. So I'll just go ahead here and start rattling off the info we got. Keeping on theme with weather, apparently Horizon 4 had about 300 weather presets. Horizon 5, however, has over 2,000. So there is going to be a much wider variety of weather patterns that you're going to see in the game and in the skies. And obviously you're going to be able to see some new types of weather entirely, like tropical storms and towering dust storms, which you can actually see from across the map. So even when you are not in, let's say for example, a dust storm, maybe you're up on the volcano driving around, you'll be able to see it off in the distance, and then you can of course drive right over to it if you're feeling in the mood for a dust storm. And that's one thing that I think is going to be really cool about Horizon 5. Unlike Horizon 4, let's say winters, for example, where everyone is stuck in snowy winter all the time throughout the whole map, winter, or the dry season in Horizon 5, is going to mean snow near the volcano and higher elevation areas, but no snow near the coast. So if you don't want to do winter snowy driving, you just don't go to where it's snowing. I love that they're giving us the choice to be able to drive in the environments we want to, and not kind of forcing us into rain or snow or whatever. So now for the final weather-related piece of info before we move on to some other stuff quickly, is that storms will not necessarily be able to travel across the map. So if a storm spawns, let's say in the southeast, it will not move its way across to the northwest or whatever way it decides to go. It will generally be localized to a specific area, but they did say they can kind of grow and swell. Now, that does not mean that the dust storm will always spawn in one exact area. They are going to spawn the localized weather all across the map. It's just that when it spawns, it's not going to move. It'll just kind of stay there and grow and shrink. All right, so outside of weather stuff, they did very importantly confirm that bighorn sheep are coming into the game. But very seriously, more importantly, barn finds are confirmed to be back. They said these are the most detailed and location-specific ones they've ever done. And on top of that, they also confirmed there are multiple good mountain roads to drive in Horizon 5. Now that is great news. All right, so the focus of this stream was obviously weather-related, but the focus of the next stream is going to be everyone's favorite topic when it comes to Horizon: engine sounds. So we're going to hear all about the tech behind that and hopefully get some really good info next month about how they are improving the engine sounds for Horizon 5. So we'll be looking forward to that, and in the meantime, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.